All right, guys. Welcome to the stream. How are we all doing? What's up, Sneaker? Welcome, buddy. Good morning. Good morning. Rise and shine. Nice and early there, isn't it? Okay. Let's have a look. Here we go. I might turn on the camera a bit later on, guys. Just some issues with it. If I can fix it. But yeah, it should be okay. You should be able to hear me properly, and the screen should be good to go, right? If you can confirm. Should be all right. Yeah, sounds about right. All right, let's get to okay. First thing first, let's do this. Post these things. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, cam is we're having some issues with the cam. I'll try to get it sorted, but if not, then yeah, you'll have to deal with this only chart thing. So, well, that way at least you don't have to worry about my looking at my ugly face all day long. Yes, sir. This way might be better, right? Now you just have to listen to my. Anywho, you can see that face cam. Let's go, face cam. I'll try to get it later. Give me a second, okay? Only charting, yes. As I was having some issues with the cam, guys. It's just not acting proper. See if I can fix it now. We shall see. It's too bright. Let's just put this on. Maybe that'll work. Alright, let's try to fix the cam if we can. Okay. Brio. Should be good to go. So we have to move it this way. that better? Okay. Can you see me? What's up? Let me have a look. Okay. All right. I think that's working fine now, right? All right. Let's get this thing rolling now. XOM. Are we looking at XOM? What's happening to XOM? Ooh. $120 level. It's already broken $120 level. Oh no, you mean to the upside? Yeah, it hasn't broken. Sorry, I thought it was broken. 120 is a good level on it for sure. Snicker. XOM 120 looks like a really good level, but it's probably going to take a while for it to break. First, I think it's going to gap fill. 119 might be an area that it might stall, but the play might be coming in this one later on. So you might want to put some alert on it. In fact, if it does reach there, let me know as well. It looks good. I would also be interested in the break of 119 as well. So if you do watch it, just remind me at around 119 level, please. All right, Exxon. Okay, so we are actually, what are we looking at SPY? Basically, we had a really decent move for the last 2 weeks or so, a month. And we had some pullback, few days of pullback, and then continued to go. 1 day of pullback, continued to go. And then we had quite a few days of pullback. Friday, it actually tried to reclaim, bounced a little bit. Now, today is already gapping up to 408, so 409, sorry, almost 409. It's not much of a gap, to be honest. So with these kind of gaps, I will not be. It's very hard to say that it's strong. It's very hard to say it's strong. Normally, over the weekends, to be honest, we do get these kind of gaps. That's mostly likely to happen, a gap over the weekends. But the gap fill is really a big possibility today, initially, in my opinion. We've got 408s, that's a gap fill. And we have got 408.50. So this zone of ours is high of yesterday as well as yesterday's close, very close to each other. So that area could be the one to watch, whether it actually pulls back to that. And when it does, what are we going to see from then onwards? Okay, before we go into this whole thing, guys, let's have a look at our economic releases, guys. I usually use Forex Factory. It's much simpler, and I used to use it a long time ago. That's what I'm used to using. But you can always use Market Watch's calendar as well. So let's have a look at what we got here. Let's filter this out. 8:22. Yeah, the time is right. Filter it out to be showing only US, right? I don't mind it showing European and GBP as well, Japanese yen now. So these are the ones we're going to be showing. And then medium to high impact news only. So today we are looking at nothing. So today, Mondays usually can be quiet, but I think over the week we will see some decent stuff coming through. All right, here we go. So we got Monday, nothing today. So we don't need to worry about nobody speaking, no big news coming out economically. And we have Tuesday, tomorrow. We have CPI. These are big, guys. Tomorrow is going to be the CPI is related to inflation and all, and directly related to the economy. So we got to be very careful trading around this time. And again, as I mentioned before, 8:30 is the main highly impacted news will be released around 8:30 a.m. So if you do trade at the open, which for you it should be fine, but people who trade at the pre-market, just be aware that 8:30, around that time, between 8 till 9, I will say, just avoid it. It's easier to do that. So, and then we have Wednesday, same core retail sales. These are also quite impacted. Empire State Manufacturing. Okay, so retail sales. Yeah, these retail sales, core retail sales, and these two also is back to back with the CPI. So, and then we got core PPI as well. They are all in the 1 week. So they're mostly related to inflation. And if the numbers come out really nicely, it's very positive for the market. It actually works out. It actually moves the market quite a bit, to be honest. Now, a while back, CPI and PPI didn't used to move the market. And it didn't used to. Things like FOMC used to move the market. It depends as well on the environment. But these days, because inflation is such a big, massive topic, it is linked to inflation, CPI and PPI. So definitely trade around it, not at that time. Always avoid if you can. And I'm going to try and avoid it. So we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All of these days, 8:30. Very simple. For me, I don't have to do a lot of thinking there. I just need to avoid 8:30 time frame, basically. So CPI is Consumer Price Index, right? Or is it? I forgot the acronym for it. But it's definitely related to the inflation. Actually, it's very easy. Look, it's a good thing, guys, for you. Where's my? No, let's go Investopedia, right? Investopedia. If you have any things that you're not aware of or you want to know, what the heck? Then Investopedia is the way to go. Well, I've changed my, as you might have noticed, it's Brave now. I've changed from Chrome to Brave. But it's just, sometimes it just doesn't pick up proper. The hell is this? Okay. Yeah, Consumer Price Index. Let's look at it. So, if I can remember it, it's just basically it's like a survey of, I don't know. I mean, I didn't go into the detail that much, but it's kind of like a survey that reports the pricing on certain things, certain very highly used, I would say, products, consumables, and stuff like that. So basically whatever you buy in the markets, people would, these surveyors will go there and, every month they will start to match the prices. It's pretty much inflation, checking inflation. Like for example, what was the price of, let's say, milk? Right, last month compared to this month, it's pretty simple. And if it's gone up, then obviously inflation is still up, right, rising. So that's what it measures in simplicity. But you can go through this. There's more to it, obviously. But that explains it really nicely as well, this link if you want. Always you can go to Investopedia or any other sites that actually does financial guides. With that being said, let's go and talk about SPY. Right. So we do have CPI and PPI this week. So that is going to determine what and how the prices will move this week. They are, as I mentioned, it's the environment you have to take into consideration. Whatever moves the market. Before, as I said, again, I'll repeat, these things wasn't as impacted to the SPY or to the market, but these days are. So we have to really take that into consideration. I think tomorrow, after tomorrow's 8:30, we will start to at least have an idea of whether the market wants to stay strong or maybe go into another phase of consolidation, because we are at that pullback mode at this point. And our bounce wasn't as big as it should have been from a continuation point. So we might see some sort of a consolidation, even if the CPI reports are really bad, then obviously we're going to see that drop down, because that's, that's not good for the market. So that's what I'm going to wait for. So I'm not going to have a very strong bias, because that way you can get killed in most of the stocks that you're going to trade. So neutral biased. If it starts to give me some sort of a setup, nice entries, A+ setups on the big caps, I'll take it. But I'll try to avoid trading major caps if I can, today and tomorrow. Why? I mean, tomorrow, maybe after the CPI reports, but yeah, tomorrow after the CPI should be fine. But today I'm going to be very careful, because anticipation to the CPI, a lot of people just withhold. Just they don't trade it as much as normal, right? They just want that report to come out and be done with it, because that report could really change the way market structure works, and it could. So that's what I'm thinking. So today, hopefully, I'm going to be getting some decent smaller caps to mid cap watch list that I can actually keep an eye on. So ignore me if I'm really talking about small caps this week a lot. Anyways. AI sector. Also, we're going to have to talk about themes and sectors that are in play. AI sector basically is in play. That's a hot theme these days. So let's have a look at what AI did. So AI has gone from, let's say, 10s all the way to 30s in the matter of a month or so. And we are basically pulling back. This red day was massive, though. I mean, this is a little bit surprising. Not so much, because it's no extension and then pullback, but that pullback is very big. So we are seeing a lot of range on these. So there will be some opportunities. This was beautiful on, I think, Thursday. It was just beautiful. And then Friday just didn't do anything. Yeah, this is just a chop that you can't trade at all. And it's probably because of the SPY as well. As you can see, for Friday, it wasn't really great to trade, right? Look at this. I mean, nothing. Yeah, 408 held. Just didn't do much. Okay, so we have to keep an eye on that sector. On that sector, I'm watching AI. Which is C3 AI Inc. And we've got SOUN. And then we have BBAI. Those three are the main ones, to be honest, but you can find others that are related, and let me know if there's another ones that we could add to the list. But at this point, they are the most dominant one. Also remember that MSFT is also heavily involved in the AI, and some other tech companies, software-based companies, are involved in the AI as well. So if you're into major caps, then Microsoft might be a better play, to be honest. All right, so that's covered. Let's clean up our watch lists. And CVNA, CVNA swing was missed here, but then there was a lot of opportunities on it to the short side, and I just didn't take it because I believe it was very expensive to trade. I might be wrong on this, but I just completely ignored trading short. And I think one of the main reasons why I did that was also that this stock was quite strong and it was holding very strong. But Thursday was the day that was like, oh, maybe it's not as strong as we thought it was, but maybe also it had gone up so much from in the past let's say 2 weeks. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, it had from 6 all the way to 20s, right? So there's a huge amount of percentage move. That definitely brings in a lot of sharper pullback, which is pretty normal for this to do. So from this way to that is actually 50% or more than 50% pullback. Now what this will calm down, guys. I think this will calm down a little bit. Even if it does drift down, it probably will drift down towards 10s and maybe 950s. That's pretty much it. And then it will start to maybe hold if it's strong. Now, if it's completely, I mean, if it's not strong as we thought it was, then it's just gonna pull back all the way to 8s, and then maybe start to grind up. But I think if it does hold here anywhere around 10 and 12, then there's other opportunities for us to catch for the next phase, which will be just a nice little pullback to those areas, and then starts to grind higher for much, taking the high of recent highs basically, which is 20s. So that's CVNA. CVNA. Also, we had, remember, Lucid was a big play on this day. This was a week or two ago. It goes from 9s all the way to 18, so 100% move in one day, and then comes back, drops down. This also, I really wanted to swing it around here, I believe, around 8s or 9s. I might be wrong on that, maybe on average 850s, but I missed it completely. I did try a few of these days, but I got stopped out on it for the possible swings. Also, I'm watching this not very closely for day trading, but just for swing ideas once it starts to really give us some decent move. So CVNA, really, to be honest, I think I'll have to wait on it. But again, it's better to keep it than not keeping it on the watch list just in case. GNS has been also something I've been saying for a while. GNS is strong. Anytime it actually drifts down, it actually reclaims back the next day. So very, I think very played stock, I would say. But I'll. This one is very strange. It's not really sort of easy to read, guys. And the daily, the intraday is very difficult to read as well. Like, sometimes it has really decent moves, but just it's very hard to read. So if you're gonna trade it, be careful. GNS, I just don't have the bias on it. GNS, I'm not very strongly biased either side, because remember, it had gone from sub $1 all the way to 8s, and then it's still trading around over 6s. So it's still huge. I mean, we're talking thousands of percentage, right? At least 1,000% from where it started. So from 60 cents all the way to 6. I think it will struggle to keep on going higher because it's already done its squeeze. These are the days that it actually squeezed out a lot of shorts, but I think You can never say never though, but probabilities are, I think we might see some fade off on this one, or actually choppy price action for a few days at least. We'll see. I'm keeping it just in case because we are still seeing good plays on it. 4 million volume. 4 million. So volume is also died down on it. Like, that's what I don't like about these is volume. Volume literally dies down. And then all of a sudden, once it starts to pick up, it will start to pick up as well, volume. But you cannot actually trade it every day just to find that day that it's going to pick up. So it's either you trade it every day and you know, get lucky on these days. For example, this was a big red day, and then the next day it just actually did a massive range, which I love. Check 280s all the way to 620s, huge move, and then pulled back, and yeah, there was a lot of opportunities on it. So it's kind of hard for me to keep it on the watch list because the volume has been dying down on it. I've been saying that as well. You know, when the volume dies down, the interest goes down on it. People are not looking at it anymore, so it gets a bit boring, and the ranges doesn't happen much. So yeah, might be one of those cases. So I'm gonna remove that. But if you do see GNS moving, you can let me know. KPRX. KPRX, the reason why I had this was this day that it had moved really nicely. What's the volume on that? Yeah, KPRX is pulled back to 6s. Maybe in the future I can come back to it in the next few days. This could be something that could provide, if it does hold that 6 though. If it starts holding the 6 and then starts to trade around this kind of price action, I would love to see this happen on this one. Same goes for the other one we were talking about, the CVNA, right? Just lift you up a little bit. That's good if you're going to be watching just Zoom. That's a good way to approach it. Today, Zoom definitely will be in play. So you're not wrong there. 100%. I'll come back to Zoom in a minute. Yeah, this I'm just cleaning up from the last week's watch list. Now, see this price action here, guys? See this price action here? Something like that, right? This price action. So we've already have this is, let's say this is our primary move. That's number one, this here, right? And this is the primary move, right? That's number one. And then we are actually in that secondary move now, in that phase, which is a pullback. So we see something like that, then yeah, beautiful. Something like this. That's the secondary move. So I hope that makes sense. That's what I'm waiting for, but that's going to take a while. It's not going to happen in one day. Hope it doesn't happen one day because I wouldn't want to miss. So KPRX will wait. RCL from last week. I've been watching this. It was an earnings gap and go right here, but it just didn't go very far. Because this is the one I was mentioning as well. Remember, if something starts to run prior to earnings, for no reason, there's something amiss there, okay? This has been running prior to earnings quite a lot. In fact, it moved from 46s all the way to almost 70s, right? Almost 70s, like I would say 80%, 70% move. That's huge prior to earnings. So that's what got me a little bit suspicious on this, like, okay, I'm probably not going to chase this thing as a gap and go setup, especially earnings. And now we're seeing that drop because this was priced in already. I can't see anything on that one today. I Okay, on that day, on Friday, on Thursday, app gaps up, does a big red day. Again, earnings gap up. And this is the one I was also mentioning. As long as it's actually staying over 16s, I'll look for that possible opportunity on this one. It actually traded on Friday under 16s and ended up being red. So guess what? I'm not looking for anything on this one anymore. Now, however, having said that, we have to remember this also is a strong stock at this point, right? If we consider the gap, this day was like that, right? This day was, imagine this day being like this, or something like that, right? So this gap day is still a strong day and still an up to the, and you know, is long biased in my opinion, because pullback from this gap is about what, 30%. This area right there is a 30% pullback, I think, from this move 13 to, yeah. So it's still good to me. We'll see what happens. If it starts to drift down, I'll completely ignore it, but I will keep an eye on it just in case if it starts to reclaim back that 16 again. All right, that's the only way I'm gonna be like, okay, well, this had really good earnings. It had a really good gap up. Yes, it actually took out the first day's lows, but it reclaimed back. Maybe that gap was too big and a lot of profit taking came in, and now we are back to the uptrending again. So that's the only way I will look at it. App. So for now, you can stay in the background. All right, first of all, let's have a look at Zoom. We did have a look at it. Obviously, it looks pretty decent, pretty delicious, in fact. Look at this thing, man. It's beautiful. It's strong. It's uptrending all the time. Even the major pullback on the market's not even touching this thing. It's got its own. It's got its own economy basically. And have a look at this. I mean, multi-day breakout, and this day was a multi-day breakout, which could have been a really good day trading opportunity. But the next few days, it actually drops back. This is the only day that we have that break of this 115 and holding. I see. This is the only day. We might see that continuation over 120, even 119 probably is a continuation to the second day. Usually they could turn out to be really good days. And why do I say that? Let's have a look at in the past if something has moved really decently from I mean, these days, for example, like I know they are at the bottom, but yeah, it's kind of hard on this stock though. Yeah, this is a good example. Okay, so it actually takes out a multi-day breakout, really like huge level there, as you can see, right? So it takes out multi-days this day, okay, this day. So today what we are seeing is very similar to that, right? It breaks out that 119, right? The second day is almost the same sort of range and it's extremely strong. And these things can keep on going as well, especially if the catalyst is good on this one. And I believe the catalyst is earnings, which is more than enough for it to carry on. So yeah, definitely one of the main watches you should be watching. XOM, ExxonMobil, definitely worth the watch. But with these ones also, remember, it's not as easy. Especially in the beginning, you might see a lot of chop, or you might just see something that runs and never looks back. So you just got to take your chances sometimes. Today we're gapping down on it. That's why I was mentioning if it does actually take out that 119, I'm interested. Even before 120, because I like to take things a bit early. That doesn't mean my full position is on. Just bear that in mind. I'll start 25%, 10%, 20% here, depending on the price action. And once it starts to break the real area where I'm watching. Not 120, I would say about 120, 119, 60s, 70s. Then I will definitely start to add to it. So I'm watching this definitely for sure. So remind me there if you can, Snicker. And I'll put a reminder as well for myself. Where's my reminder gone? Yeah, there you go. So, ExxonMobil looking rather juicy. Now for this as well, if we do get that SPY moving a bit stronger, it will help it. But it really doesn't, this one doesn't correlate with SPY as much as the others. All right, let's go to our scanners. So let's try and look up, obviously, XPON and OSCR. XPON moved on Friday, I believe. And this thing has a history of moving and then dropping. So really one of those that short sellers love to trade the front side of it. And that's the only way you can. Well, not necessarily. In the intraday, you can trade it the back side of it, of course, but good opportunities for people to be shorting this thing at when it starts to pop like this. Starts to pop, heavy short selling comes in, starts to pop again, starts to pop again and again, shorting. What is the difference between this and the previous times? The only difference is that previous times it actually, that day just ended up being very weak and continued to go down. You have to pay attention. What is the difference? Well, today the difference is it's still staying over that crucial level of 3. So if you have a short bias on it, please don't be very strongly short bias, because remember, it could squeeze because it's acting slightly stronger than before it used to. Like these ones went up over 3.5s, 3.75s, and then came back under 3s every single one of these days, right? But this day, Friday, when it started popping, it actually closed over just around 3. And today also is starting to trade over 3. So as long as that 3 is holding, I'm a bit long biased on it, to be honest, because these are the ones that could get you some really decent squeezes. Now, if it does drop down below 3, then I'll start looking for shorts. But then again, I'll have to look how much am I going to be paying for to borrow the fee, borrow the shares to short it. Right now, actually, right now looks like a nice short to me, to be honest. Hold on, guys. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let's see what I'm paying for this bad boy. Yeah, it's kind of a bit expensive, more than I thought it was gonna be. Yeah, I mean, it's 4 cents, 4.5 cents basically. So very close to 5 cents. So every 100 shares is gonna be $5. Every 1,000 shares is gonna be 50. So. Yeah, and then the opportunity for it to go down all the way to 2.4, 2.5 is there though. It is there. Tough, man. You know what? This is so kind of difficult for new beginners or anybody who's joining new. I'll try to trade it on my own on this one. I would probably not call it out because it could be really, really dangerous. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Definitely trying to short if I can. When the time comes, though. When the time comes. Still early in my opinion, but there is a chance there. Now, long side, however. Long side, when it starts to take out the pre-market high, This is when it's gonna, especially if it holds over 380s, if it starts to run, I think we will start to see the early signs of squeeze. Early signs of squeeze. It's still not going to be valid. When it takes out 4, this high of this zone, dude, I think this has a really high chance of squeezing big time. So I am really keeping an eye on it. We do have 420 as well, guys. Yeah, so it has to take out 420 as well, but 4 is more important. So there's quite a bit of chance both sides we can actually take opportunities, long and shorts. So I'm going to keep that for sure. X-Spawn. Let's have a look at our others. OSCR went from, nah, I'm not interested. It's just too low volume. I know it's done a really good move. Actually, let me just, instead of OSCR, was it? Okay. Yeah, that's why I wanted to look at it, because if it's an earnings-based move, then we have to take it into consideration that this thing might be in play. But the issue with this one is, this is a, like, I don't know whether OS is watching or not. This is like a perfect example of a gap and go setup. Really beautiful. Let's have a look at 5 minutes, 1 minute. There we go. The volume. Yeah, I mean the ORB would have been fine. Later it picked up. Yeah, I mean the volume would have still actually wouldn't have traded this one. Wouldn't have traded if the volume was good. The daily and the intraday looks beautiful for that setup of ours. So yeah, leaving that alone, just leaving it alone. Later, when like the reason why I'm leaving it alone, because it's done huge move now, like from 4s all the way to 5s. For it is quite a bit of a move. Like that's 20%, right? Now we might see, and it's rejected from that 200 to the tick, like literally hits it and then drops from. But the problem is it actually didn't drop that much, so it's still strong. But we can keep an eye on it around 5 levels. I'm gonna put an alert there just in case if it starts to drift from there, and if it starts to reject from the area. In fact, this area here is quite crucial on this stock. If it starts to, I know it's an earnings play, I shouldn't be shorting it, but because it has done quite a bit of a move, there might be some opportunity to the short side, but I'm not expecting too much. Maybe towards 4.5, 50 cents from a $5 stock is huge. So yeah, it's still good opportunities on this. Could be there. OSCR. Okay. OSCR. PayPal. NET. It reclaimed back to, so it doesn't look good. COP, low volume, not good. Okay, let's have a look at the other ones. X-Spawn, OSAR, MRO. Nope. And we've got our X-Spawn is also in the list. Short squeeze, we don't have anything. Right after para, we don't have anything. And down days. Tesla is a down. Lift. Oh, Lift actually came down. PPR, PLTR, AMC. AFRM, CVNA, Peloton, and you. Let's have a look at Lyft, because Lyft came down. This is also related to, this is the second day though, that's the issue with it. Second day. Lyft is difficult, man. I'm not going to keep it on the watch. Lyft is very difficult to trade. Lyft and Uber, I don't like to trade. What is PLTR done? It's also down too much. Down too much. CVNA, I did have a look. We did talk about it, so I'm keeping that. Yep. Peloton. Peloton is this day. Friday was a really decent opportunity on it. Friday was a really good opportunity. Yeah, definitely would have yielded some really decent results. I mean, especially around this area here. I mean, this is what I mean by high confluence of areas, highly confluenced areas. We've got VWAP, we got 20 EMAs, we got 1450s. I don't know about the daily though, but we have got quite a lot of confluence of levels and also previous intraday level. So like 4 confluence of levels there. So yeah, it looks quite interesting on Friday, but it's already done that, so I'm just gonna avoid that now. There won't be much of an opportunity, just like Friday. And Oasis knows this daily anyways, so that's our first. That's the second opportunity there. Now, yeah, I'll get back to the watch list for you. I'll grab the watch list in a minute. Let me check the pre-market. Was popping today. Pre-market COMS. COMS pops. Hopefully it pops and holds. No, it doesn't. No, this is not the day. Is this not? What is this? Wow, okay. I mean, I don't know how much it's going to affect though. Company announced an 80% year-over-year reduction of outstanding shares, outstanding secured debt. Okay. Well, it goes from, I don't know about this one, guys, but seems like a good positive news for the company, and it's gapping up. So it closed yesterday on Friday. Gaps up all the way on Friday to 526s. Doesn't even try to go for gap and go, and then just completely crashes to 4.3s. Yeah. And then now today is gapping up. Is this? There could be play on it, definitely. I'll keep it. There could be definitely play on it. What is the borrows on this bad boy? Let's go point. And this is not too bad actually. It's not too bad. It's half of what X pawn is. So okay, so on this one we are watching X pawn, and we're watching this gapper COMS, and on the other side X pawn. Okay. Keep it to 5 minutes for the moment. Yeah, this is gonna get shorted heavily. Seems like. Let's see. Okay. So we've got 550. This could be a bit hectic in the beginning, but later on it might produce some decent opportunities. I think as long as this doesn't break that 6, we still have a lot of. I think we will still have a lot of short selling pressure on this one. Yeah, I think so. So we'll keep it. COMS, we kept it for sure. And what else do we have? OCUL. OCUL. OCUL is gapping up to 4.6. Why is it gapping up? Let's see. Thermal data from an ongoing US phase 1 cleaner. Okay. Phase 1. This, I don't know. Phase 1 trial result. Phase 1. Everybody knows what phase 1 is. So that's fine. This is a gap because of the phase 1. I'll keep that because the chance of opportunities on the short side will be there on this one. I'm only looking for shorts on this. Phase 1s are not very strong. They do gap up quite a bit. 3.9s all the way to 4.9s almost. That's a big gap for phase 1, which is just nothing really. So we've got also a OCUL. Let's try to find what we are paying for OCUL as well. So OCUL is even cheaper, which is a bit. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. So keep an eye on OCUL as well. See if we can short that thing. Good. We're getting there. Gappers. Silo. It's done. X-Pawn is there, of course. DDL. Okay, DDL interestingly looks very interesting. It's not a massive gap, which is I like for a earnings play. Yeah, so it's an earnings gap. Yeah, this is interesting. So I'll keep that for sure. DDL. Yes, sir. Okay. That's pretty much it from my watch list. I'm gonna share this, guys, for the Discord's members here. There's our watch list, and I will share it now. Watch list. Monday watch list. Here we go. All right, so this is what I'm watching for today, guys. We've got X-Pawn, CVNA, XOM, OSCR, usual watch list, and then COMS, OCUL, and DDL is basically gappers, today's gappers. COMS and OCUL, to be honest, I'm short biased, so I'm going to be looking for shorting opportunities on those two. And DDL, I'm long biased because it's an earnings play, and it could have some continuation because the gap is not that much as far as now stands. But that could change. So that is the watch list, guys. That's what I'm watching, Snicker. I know you're watching only Zone, Exxon. $1,638. Stream current bitrate is 1638, the lower than recommended. Okay. Why is it 1638? Is it not working? Should be good. I feel like it's working. Yes, sir. The only issue with this one is volume. Volume is not very consistent. Other than that, we have a good-looking opportunity on this one. 550s and then 6 is the main one. We've got to watch that 6. If it does break that 6, chance of this going higher is quite high actually. But heavily beaten down stock though. Heavily beaten down. I will see. Not the greatest of the earnings plays, no. Not by miles. But still I'll keep an eye on it. Expon. Okay, let's have a look at SPY. As I said, guys, look, this is already close to the gap fill. These kind of smaller gaps usually fill up very, very quickly. So there you go. Pretty much a gap fill, really. It goes all the way to 408.20s. 408 is the gap fill. Well, best of luck with that, man. I hate doing that. Hate doing that. Don't you have an accountant for that? Well, you don't need it if you can do it yourself. And obviously yours might not be as complex. Yeah. Best of luck, buddy. Alright, let's clean up this. We've got W. Oh, dude, you have to do your for the YouTube ends. Wow, Twitch. So, isn't it that? I mean, you're still young, right? I mean, for us, I don't know how US works though. US's tax system works. So it might be. Yeah. Well, if the job is paying your bills, then that should come first. But trading is always like, unless you can actually pay the bills with the trading, then that's a different story. COMS XPON. And we had Ocul. Ocul popped and dropped, so that's what I think is gonna happen to this anyways. Ocul, let's have a look. Yeah, it just pops and then starts to drop. We've got 3. We've got about 14 minutes to the open, guys. 14 minutes. Okay, to CVNA. We have XOM. XOM should be. Oh, SCR. We have. DDL, L, and this one could be GNS. We have COMS and COCUL. Yeah, it is. It really is different. Every different time frame is different. That's why EMAs are not very reliable on their own. A lot of people like myself use it just to gauge the trend on that specific time frame. We really don't use it for a support and resistance lines unless there's more things around it, like more confluence of levels. Yes, then that's fine. But if you are used to, let's say, 5 minutes chart, and if you want to know how the stock is doing on a 5-minute scale, as in whether it's trending or not, you just look at the EMA, right? How is it doing compared to the, where's the price compared to 10 EMA, 20 EMA, 50 EMA, right? So that's the only way you want to start with EMAs. Don't try to not use EMAs as in main tool for the price entries or setups. No, it's just used to gauge the trend. How strong is the trend? I could give you an example of this if I can find one. I just don't see at the moment a trending market. Like for example, let's say over here, right? Forget about the volume, right? On SPY, right? We had look at this 20 EMA, right? On 1 minute, by the way, on 1 minute, 20 EMA, rising 20 EMA, right? So at that point, you know, price is trending strong, right? That doesn't mean it's going to continue, and then obviously you can always use this concept when it starts to break out of a certain structure, right? So it does a really nice trending environment and then pulls back and starts to break that. That's fine. It never broke it. So then you can say to yourself, well, you know what? It never broke it. So I'm just going to leave it alone. And then you will see this again. You're seeing this respect of the 20 EMA. Again, a slopey trend down. Now it's starting to look. This is how you basically gauge the trend. But it's very, very bad example at the pre-market because, and especially also SPY. SPY is a very bad example on these, on this EMA thing or a trending thing, because most of the time SPY doesn't trend. Okay, as you can see, this is a prime example of why you shouldn't really sort of stress on the EMA too much, because it gets destroyed in a choppy environment. Look at that, right? Every single time, no respect whatsoever for the EMAs. Even for the VWAP, no respect whatsoever on Fridays, right? So, yeah. But when also, it's better to know than not to know, right? Let's say, for example, your EMAs are not getting respected at all, right? It's getting chopped around in between. Then you know that you shouldn't be trading. Very simple. And especially for someone like you, Snicker, you could do with some EMAs, because you do tend to take something that's already strong and breaking out certain levels, because you have your value zone levels. It needs to take that out, isn't it? And that's when you start to say to yourself, you know what, this thing is actually looking rather good. Look at the EMAs. It's rising, sloped up high, and now all I need to do is wait for the pullback. Things like that, you know. There's a lot of ways to use it, but that's, I think, the safest way to use it. GNS is popping again. I mean, per usual. This is just, the volume is just kicking in now. Yeah. I might have to put this one back to the watch list just in case. It's, yeah, 670s, yeah. Crazy. Not necessarily. Sometimes EMAs. Also, again, one thing to keep an eye, if you're going to learn anything from EMAs, or how I use it, this is what I want you to remember. EMA is completely useless if it doesn't get respected. Okay, if the price starts to respect it, then pay attention to it. In fact, if price starts to respect it a few times, then you can use it as a dynamic support or resistance line. But if the price doesn't respect it, it goes in and out of it quite a few times, then ignore it for that moment, right? For the next, let's say, depending on the time frame, let's say for the next 5 minutes, for 5 minutes, let's say half an hour or 1 hour, just ignore it completely, right? But if it starts to respect it, that tells you that, yeah, this is a trending environment and it's getting respected. And again, why does it work? It's just one of those things that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing. A lot of people use it. That's why it probably works. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that definitely, if you use it that way, and as I said, there's a lot of ways to use it. Just make sure you use it the right way. A lot of people will take EMA as a system on its own. It just doesn't work like that. You have to build up a lot of other things around that system. We've got about 6 minutes or 5 minutes to go. So look at the gappers. Gappers are just staying still, kind of not very obvious. This is something I want to short, but after the open we'll see. DDL is something that I want to long, but it's kind of a bit stretched out. I would like it to be pulling back. Yeah, we'll see. It can be hard to trade if you are not familiar with the tape reading and the way price action works on smaller stocks, smaller caps. It's completely different animal to what you're used to, which is large caps. Volume is a big, massive thing. Entries could be a problem sometimes. That's why you need to choose the right smaller cap stock to trade. And yeah, as I said, the price action is completely different. It just is a completely different animal. You just have to study it well enough to understand it. And also remember, smaller stocks, small cap stocks or low float stocks, they can get you in trouble if you don't know what you're doing. If you're not quick with your hotkeys or stuff like that. Say for example, let's say I'm looking to short OCUL, right? I'm looking to short this thing, maybe under 4.5s now. So I'm short, for example, right? I'm not short on it now, but let's say I'm short right about now, okay? If you're not quick with your exits, and once it starts to rip, these can rip and hold, okay? When it does 10% move, say for example from 450 all the way to that would be what 10% move would be like 45 cents, right? So if it goes from 450 to around close to 490, right? That is gonna, within a certain amount of time, it depends on how quick it does. If it goes, let's say for example, in 1 minute, that's a halt towards 490, and you're stuck with a volatility halt, okay? Which means it stops trading. Because there's so much trading going on, it's run so fast in so small amount of time, short amount of time, that it's to prevent it from going crazy, they halt it. They just completely stop trading. So usually it's 5 minutes, right? And after the 5 minutes, it could gap up, 510s, 520s. So if you're stuck short, you're just adding fuel to the fire basically, and then you'll have to exit after the hold, which could be anywhere, right? So there's a lot of risk to it, but there's a lot of reward as well. Same way, when you do take these things, when they do run for you, they run big, like they run literally instantly. Like for example, like this one, after 450 takes out, this could be all day fader towards 390. So yeah, there's definitely, it's a two-edged sword basically. So you have to know what you're doing. Some people are really good with small caps, and if you're scalping purely price action and tape reading, right? If you're looking at the level 2 and the time and sales, you can read them, the numbers quicker, right? Whatever is coming up, then yeah, if you can interpret that quickly, then yeah, small caps, you should be trading small caps. You might have a good edge there, but you've got to be very disciplined to be able to stick to your like worst case scenario stops, because it's not your typical stop, is it? Sometimes it's kind of difficult to, like, for example, you short sellers, small cap stocks, whoever trades it, it's mostly short sellers. It's mostly dominated by short sellers. Why? Because what we do is we try to benefit from a stock that is running wild and making huge amount of move, where it doesn't deserve it, where the stock doesn't deserve it. It actually puts out a PR saying, oh, for example, any small little companies right now could actually say, we are actually implementing ChatGPT system in our programs or whatever, right? That could skyrocket the prices on that specific stock. So we are saying to ourselves, well, you know what? This company was still was shit before. Just because ChatGPT came along doesn't mean it's gonna be trading at hundreds and hundreds of percentage over its reasonable price. That's when we start shorting them, right? That's what happens. Anyways, let's concentrate on these gappers. I'm gonna be trading the gappers for the open, guys. We have OCUL that's going a little bit, and OCUL, there you go. I wanna see the halt on this one so that I can show you what I mean. Halt level on this one is 494, as I mentioned before, 494 right here. If it does reach there, it's gonna halt up. So when it does halt, it's gonna stop trading, and there's not much you can do if you're stuck with it short. So yeah. So it didn't. OCUL didn't do it. Also, we're getting that pushed on COMS as well. It's trying to push towards that 6. I'm watching the 6 area here. If it does reject from there, then I'll try and take some position on it. Oh, okay, it's rejecting badly from, okay, that's fine. Still could be quite choppy though. SPY is taking the high out. SPY didn't actually gap fill, did it? It didn't gap fill, okay. Well, SPY, you didn't gap fill, Baba. What is that? 4,577. Okay, COMS looks good. If COMS breaks that 530, 520, that's a good area to take some shorting opportunities there. 530s. Mm-hmm. 530s on CRMS. And looking rather interesting. Yeah, good luck everyone. There it goes, COMS. Took out that 530, and as long as it stays under that, we are going to be seeing some sort of fade off today on this one, probably towards the gap fill. And OCUL 4.77. 480. DDL has gone, brought up some decent volume actually. DDL, not too bad. 590, still struggling at 6 though, so we want to watch it what it does around 6 areas. Yeah. OCUL is going for it, wants to squeeze. Took out the highs of the pre-market as well as high of day. Takes it out, but I just don't believe in this going for long. It's still hopefully gonna be fading off, so I can benefit from a 4.5 break, maybe even 4.4 break. That's when it's gonna start to really confirm things. But at this point, it's still early. If it does go to 5s and starts rejecting from there, then I probably will take some shot at it. Okay. That. Okay, so just running at 16. Just trading at 7.73. Just trading at 7.73. Let's have a look at our XM is doing nothing. And Q isn't doing much. Okay, IQ is doing really good actually. So IQ is a good one that I could add to. 50. Okay, not 50. Okay. Could be it. Under 7. Okay. What else are we looking at? Okay, the OCUL. What? OCUL is actually trying to go for squeeze. It's getting heavily rejected though. It's interesting. I'm gonna watch this, guys. OCUL. This is the first day runner though, so you gotta be very careful with this one. Maybe wait for the backside. OSCR went quite a bit. GNS also is going down. this one, we are going to be seeing some sort of 14. Okay. All right. Okay, Okul. Okay, so Okul is rejecting 485 big time. There was 2 attempts to take that 485s, got heavily shorted. So if it does go back there, there's 2 things that could happen. One, if it does go there and rejects from it, there's going to be higher rejection, bigger rejection than this. And if it doesn't reject badly, then it could take that out. And if it does take that area out, that means a lot of heavy short sellers that were attempting to short it there, they were going to pretty much be stuck with it. So that means that squeeze is possibly highly likely, because they're going to be trapped if it doesn't. Now there's obviously, if they don't take out their SPY guys, SPY. If they don't take out their shares, if they don't buy it back, obviously they're going to be trapped more and more, right? So if they start to buy back their shares that they shorted, 490s, 495, this is going to put fuel to the fire and start to squeeze even more to the 5s, right? So that's usually what short seller a squeeze happens, basically trapped short sellers. Yes, sir. All right, so Okul is fading off, so that rejection was quite, that could be the high of day, guys, on Okul. And we might see some fade off coming in more and more. Just waiting for this to take out that 450 though. Interesting. Wow, SPY is really moving, huh? SPY is, so it actually goes to attempt a gap fill, barely makes it, almost does it, and then carries on. So this could be the continuation to the main move, which is uptrending. Is it gonna stay uptrending? This short-term trend line got broken, but now we have this as a short-term trend line. Okay. Very, very interesting. Interestingly enough, still getting bought up at around 459s. SPY is back down as usual. Right, so five is holding strongly. So 5 is holding strongly. Yep, this and 480, 490. So 490s. Cover the 100. Okay. All right. Very strong labor market, not as much moderation inflation, and yeah, it's possible we will still be able to achieve a soft landing. Okay, that's a good sign. That's kind of like hinting at what's going to be received at the CPI. That's clever of them. That's going to drive the market slightly higher, which is a positive news. So yeah, it's in line with the overall market structure anyways, to the upside. So looking good. Hold on, guys. It's popping down. It's popping. It's popping. But there's not much there. Okay. Popping there. Okay. Ocul is coming back up. OCUL is coming back up. And maybe it's trying to attempt that 485 again. Let's see what it does around that area. I think this time around, if it does actually take that out, I think it will probably go for it. And COMS. COMS is interesting as well, because it's kind of curling up. 5 was a really decent bounce on it. This here, and we're getting some really decent volume on it. So this could be a bounce on it, but how far does it go? Nobody can tell. I replace that with yeah, Ocul is going to take that. Yeah, it's going for the squeeze, guys. Ocul. So be very careful with that one. Yeah. Trapping. I'm watching this one, COMS. Fives. Okay. So that's also coming up. $75s. On the NVIDIA. Okay. Yeah, I mean, SPY is moving strongly as well. Yeah, so the reversal to the long side is a good play, actually. What's our exome doing though? Yeah, it's not going back there, is it? Yeah, it's actually not going back at all. So interesting. Yeah, so there's no play on that one. Even if you want to short it now, it's too late. In fact, you have to be looking for long opportunities now, because since it's there's a gap down as well, isn't it, from dividend? But then recently, yeah, I think long opportunities are better on this one, on the bounces, than short opportunities. That's just my opinion. Oh, 87th. Cool. Yeah, Okula's done 4.4 all the way to 490, so kind of on daily looks like a squeeze, but it's still, there's no squeeze on it, because 5 breaks, that's when we might see it. 4.85, yes, was holding, but then from 4.85 to 5, there was not much. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of orders sitting around 5s. That's what's going to create some sort of a squeeze if it does take it out. I think it doesn't have that strength to take it out, in my opinion. I might be a bit biased on it. I'm still looking for shorts on this bad boy. There's your clear idea. If it does break the VWAP, and that could mean, although it hasn't been respecting the VWAP at all. Let's see. There we go. What an entry. We are seeing some sort of there we go. There goes COMS. screw XOM. Yeah, maybe let's screw it. This one looks like a X spawn, looks like a nice short as well. XPON actually looks like a nice short, so I'm gonna try that, as well as trying the cool. There's a lot of opportunities on the smaller caps, guys. If I can actually short this thing. What's the borrows on this? That's why I didn't take it, because it was kind of expensive and the others weren't that expensive. But usually the expensive ones do play out better. So this one, I'm pretty sure is going to play out much better than the others. But I'm watching COMS or NOCUL. I've tried some on COMS and still managing that, obviously, but would like it to be much better than that, of course. And we shall see. And OCUL is still trying to sort of hold it, which means This thing can really, really rip. To be careful. Yeah, the bounce on SPY from the view app looks interesting. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look. This bounce came in quite strong. Volume, let's have a look. This volume is low. Yeah, it looks like a nice pullback. This looks like a pullback, and this might be a continuation. So the bounce from SPY looks good, yeah. At least for now. At least for now. We need that 409.80s. In fact, 410s need to be broken. So we have quite a bit of overhead resistance. Just bear that in mind, but it looks strong. Yeah, this bounce really looks good. It's not just a view up. Remember, it's just a view up. It's the levels here. Look, intraday levels. Look at this. This is 409, right? 409 bounce, 409 bounce, 409 bounce. So it's intraday level more than the view app, right? Yeah, so that's definitely looking good. Good eye on that. The question is it strong enough for it to take out that 410s? It might be. It might be. Looks like it is. We are seeing volume rising now, which is about half an hour. Yeah, this volume is definitely rising here at this area. It needs to be staying over that. Yeah, looks good. Interestingly, looks good. Interestingly, looks good. Oh, 5. If it does good, 5. Five. Okay. Yeah, SPY is actually, yeah, looking strong, to be honest. These last candles, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, looks to be quite strong. And then if it does break that 410s, we might have a Mondays usually not. Well, you can't really sort of generalize Mondays these days, to be honest. It could happen any day, but it's going to look good, yeah. So, yeah, this is what I was mentioning. Like, if anything, this is a long. So that's this is basically that initial chop. Really clean moves to the downside though, but now it's actually picking up really nicely. So there might be something, but not, maybe not today. XOM. XPON, again, looking at that. XOM, CVNA. CVNA kind of looks interesting. CVNA kind of looks interesting. Let's go COMS. I'm waiting for you to take that 5s, and then look, it's gonna look good. 5s take out. Still struggling to take the 5s out though. I would really like to take it out very quickly with some volume. 507s are holding. The low was 501, which was holding strongly. Oh, cool. Ocul is running again. Ocul is running again. Let's see what it does around 5s. $5.30 is the hold level, so after 5 it could actually hit that hold level very quickly. And I'm surprised this is getting pushed really strong. I mean, usually they don't last this long. OCUL, phase 1 trial especially. They don't last that long. But this is holding up strongly, so there could be some squeeze coming in. COMS is looking good. Yes, sir. Let's go. Break that 5. Break that 5. COMS looking rather good. Let's go. Come on. Break that 5. On both of these, we are at a crucial level. COMS as well as OCUL. It's actually hitting that 5 now. There's a lot of sale happening at that area right now. There we go, COMS. Let's go, baby. COMS, let's go. Come on. Come on. Give some more. Some more. Give some more. Okay, you want to go back to it? You're not going to make it easy. Okay, COMS is bouncing again. I don't want it to be reclaiming that 5 again. Yeah, I don't want that reclaim. That's, yeah. COMS for you. On this one, I think we have a clear idea now. If this trend line gets taken out, then we might see a proper fade off on this one. Until then, it's still early. Still early. But I might start about this area here, round about this area on OCUL with this stop, very, very tight stop of 505, so something like that. And then I'll add to it once it starts to actually give some confirmation. Look at that SPY go. Look at that SPY go. 410 breaks without any problem. So we are actually seeing the continuation to the upside for sure on SPY. So today was the day, which in turn again proves the point where when market is strong after the pullback, there will be some big bounces or some strong price action. Takes that out. Alright, OCUL is an important area right now. OCUL. It's taking that 496 out. It wants to take that 5 out. But yeah, let's see if it takes it out. It'll be interesting to see what it does after it takes it out. I think we might see some sharp move to the upside if it does take it out. DDL just drifted down big time. I was kind of looking forward to trading that long. I wasn't expecting, well, that with this one I was saying that, you know, it's not the greatest looking chart or stock. Interesting. Are we gonna see a rug pull coming in? It seems like if there's secret hidden sellers at around 5 or just before 5, we will see the rug pull coming in, because at one point buyers are going to stop buying, saying we will wait for the 5 to break, and it never breaks, and all of a sudden you've got heavy short selling coming in, and yeah, buyers giving up. That means only way is down. So interesting price action right now is happening. Just reaches 5 and then just holds it. So we've got quite a bit of a push towards 5 though. Interestingly, it's holding. COMS just at one point looked really nice under 5 here, and then now reclaimed back, but 530s, as long as it stays under 530s, is fine. It's still a fade off in my opinion. It's just, yeah, just not much to it, to be honest. It might pop over and under of that level, but as long as it really doesn't close above it, especially closing above the VWAP and starts trading over it, and that'll be a bit you know, like concerning for short sellers like myself. But this is interesting though. OCUL is interesting. Yeah, not too bad. Still good, right? Still good. 3% is still green. And since you're using, what's it called? Your Robinhood or whatever it is, it's commission free, right? I bet it's commission free. COMS is dying down. I just need it to be. But Okul definitely is attracting a lot of attention. It's actually bouncing over this trend line. It never broke it. So that's why I'm not rushing this. If it starts breaking it, then I'll start, and then maybe under the VWAP. But that might happen later. XPON though. XPON. This is also one of those that I said, okay, listen, if it's taking that 3 out, then it will look good for shorts. Even right there, I was thinking of shorts, but this is popping now. So this is the one, like, it's a bit interesting because every time it popped in the past, it just dropped, but it never actually closed above 3. This is the only time it actually started closing above 3 or very close to 3 and start trading over 3 for the next day. So today is the day where actually it is trading over 3. And it hasn't done that in the past, at least recently. So that's something like, oh, if you're a short seller, that might be a bit concerning. But this heavily gets shorted. That's another side to the coin as well, right? Heavily gets shorted. But look at the volume that comes in. Yeah, Nvidia was a good trade. At that point, SPY was looking really decent as well, looking good. Yeah, that's definitely a good trade for sure. OSCR is one of those. It's a good example of, like, you just need to wait for that right time, right? I mean, moves up really nicely over the 200 already. 510 was the 200, this level here. Yesterday it got rejected from there and it started to hang around here, as you can see. Now is the chance on this. If it has strength, and in my opinion, it's actually extended. I wouldn't trade it long, but if you were trading something for the second run, this is the ideal one. You have a one move, first move, then a decent pullback, and then the secondary move with a volume that's coming up. Right now, there's an entry on long on this one. But daily is not really tickling tickling my fancy at this point. Just don't like the daily. Although it's not much, to be honest. From 4 to 5, it's actually not much. So there is kind of opportunity there. 517, your stop will be about 5, so 17 cents. It's not a bad looking chart. Not a bad looking chart. Yeah, we do have a level that's 520. That's where it's struggling from, actually. 520 level is actually looking strong. But that's interesting. That looks like a nice little long there. DDL just completely failed off. COMS still is closing just under the low. I mean, close to the lows. And Ocul is still struggling, and now this is the first time it's actually creating that nice little range, small tiny range that is not come out yet out of. Usual price action was up, down, up, down, up, down, but still trending higher. But right now we're actually seeing some really tight price action. So if this breaks, then that could be the break of a bigger structure. So this little tight junction here, that needs to break. That needs to break. It could break either way. As it stands, it wants to break that 5, and which means it's going to break to the upside. But I'm thinking on this one, it's already moved huge though for this kind of catalyst. Even if it does attempt to break it, it might actually go for stop runs and then come back in. That's when we might see some rug pull, or it stays over 5s and starts trending over 5s with decent volume and more buyers come in. That's going to create a more push to the upside. Yeah. Definitely trying now. This is interesting. Getting shorted, getting shorted. Yeah, you should have kept an eye on Microsoft. I did mention earlier, like if you were going to take long on these, especially when it comes to the recent sector that's hot, Microsoft is the first one you should keep an eye on. I don't know what happened to, I haven't checked Microsoft. Wow, beautiful. Just beautiful. And Ocul is attempting to take that 5s, which it looks like it wants to. Yeah, beautiful. Microsoft, just beautiful. And that should represent the other ones as well. Well, they're actually down. AI is down quite a bit. Well, some decent opportunities on these ones. Really decent. So now OCUL breaks it. OCUL, as you can see, guys, breaks that 5. Now the question is it going to hold above 5? And if it does, we might see squeeze. And 560 is the halt level, which is around quite a far away, right there, 560s. Okay, so that first scenario that I mentioned, that it breaks and then does a stop run and then comes back inside, that's what's happening right now. So yeah, there you go. And I might start right about here, basing that 5 as a stop level, or just over 5 basically. So It's still early, honestly, it's still early, but confirmation will start to come in once it starts to trade under the 20 EMA, in my opinion. Because it has been respecting 20 since here, like it's been hugging 20 EMA, and I want it to break under that. Spy is creating nice little tight flag here. Tight flag here. Yep. Which volume they're taking? Oh, cool. Okay, come on now. Oh. Okay. OMCS, COMS. COMS is, yeah, it's still attacking that 5. It's interesting if it does break that. O COMS, not OMS, OMCS. COMS. CVNA is also at the lows. This is very interesting. But I don't want to short this thing. That's the issue here. If it does bounce from here, we might actually reverse. But if it does break this, I think this has more potential to go down, at least towards 10s. So this is interesting. We've got 1040, so about 5-7 cents stop there. If it does take that 1039 out, 1039 gets taken out, then we have at least towards that 10 mark here. Yeah, even lower maybe. But it has to take that out though. Yeah, it didn't take it out, but it might. It just might. We are seeing this pressure coming to the downside. I think this is looking good. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of interested in shorting this thing, CVNA. I ain't lying. Yeah, it's not bad. Mondays are usually kind of choppy anyways when it comes to more larger caps. So if you've done 3%, that's really good. That is a really good, my man. So we got 501s. What is a COMS? And now we've got 506s. 506s. 5 tens. Oh, there it goes. This is what I meant. There you go. Voila. And your tens are quite achievable on this one. There you go. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, sir. Let's go. See this bounce? The confirmation is not as you think it is. A lot of people think confirmation is to the direction you're trading. Like for example, this is not confirmation. This is late. This is too late. When you're seeing something to the to any direction, in this case, this was just beautiful. This bounce came in, but have a look at these ranges, okay? It just bounced around this area very tiny bit, but this was the only time that it actually bounced bigger than usual. So that's looking really decent. Whew. So my day is not going to be bad. But anyways, so this bounce comes in, and then this immediately gets rejected from these levels, right? Intraday levels and 20 EMA, right? Immediately. And that's when you start to pull the trigger. That's when you don't hesitate, because that's clearly telling you the direction you've chosen is the right one. The pressure is so much to the downside that it actually didn't even try to attempt to take the even 20 EMA, right? Even this trend line, right? It came down to, it's just rejected. So looks really, really nice. With CVNA also, remember, I'm not expecting too much from it. If anything, if I can get close to tens, I will be quite happy on it. Very interesting. And we're looking at Ocul, kind of getting boring, to be honest. Now it might start to, I don't know if it does take out this low has been holding though, strangely. This area here, 485s have been holding, because that has been holding to the upside. That had become it's one of those cases where it's resistance becoming support. Earlier on it was holding really nicely, and then now it's actually acting as a support now. So I'm thinking if it does take that out, then we might see that VWAP gets taken out, finally the shift in the direction, and then maybe fade off. But right now it's getting a bit, I was kind of hoping it would either go above fives and start to trade over fives and start squeezing, or just start to just fade off. We've got 4 million, just over 4 million volume traded on it. Wow, DDL was all day fader, huh? This is the one I really like. Yeah, this is the one that's really difficult to take shorts on. The catalyst is earnings, and you don't play with earnings. And if it's gapping up because of earnings, you don't want to short that thing as well. Otherwise, yeah. Very clean. Things are quieting down. Is that a word? Quieting down? Getting quiet. Let's have a look at my Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be done as soon as I start to. I'm just waiting for this to do something, as well as COMS. I'm kind of short from these lands here, this area here. Took partial out here, and now waiting for 5 to get taken out, so I can actually fade it all day. So that's one that I'm waiting for, and also I'm waiting for OCUL to do something. Either I give up on thinking of shorting this thing, or I wait for it to actually give me some sort of a confirmation to the downside, which is basically, I would ideally like it to be trading under VWAP. Very simple. If it does do that, then that's perfect. Also, I don't like COMS what it's doing, so I'm kind of out on it, to be honest. I'm finished with the trade. Oh wow, okay, that's a good exit, to be honest. Oh wow, okay, what an exit, what an exit. So this thing, what it's doing right now is not looking good. I mean, in fact, this looks like a long to me, but still early. A huge volume comes up, and then this looks not so good. Yeah, so that was a good trade from my side. Thank you for that. And OCUL still waiting on that. Huge volume came in on this one. This is what you gotta pay attention to. And what an exit on that one. What an exit. So my trade on this one looks like this. If I can show you. And this is what makes or breaks the small cap traders, basically. And I'm not saying I traded the right way, but this is very typical of where you get stuck in a trade. So earlier I did take it for a small loser. This was a starter anyways, small loser, because it was just taking out that level that I was watching, these levels here. Takes it out, and I exited here just after the open. I couldn't hold on to it. And then once the rejection came in, started here, and then I didn't take anything out because I was waiting for the 5 to break. And then now, once again another rejection comes in, I added to it, so average of this area here, 540, something like that. And on this one I couldn't take anything out, but finally I got my chance to take some out here, which was a really decent trade from this point to that point. And as I was watching this, the volume, look at the volume rising, right? Look at the volume rising, and this was happening. It's just hesitant to take that 5 out. Something and somebody was actually soaking in everything that was being put at around 5. So this level was getting soaked in, a lot of volume getting soaked in. So initially it was break and then back in, break back in. But now what I was seeing was we're starting to see some sort of a curling action. That's usually the start of a big move up. As I'm talking about it, guys, look at this. Look at that squeeze. That's a halt coming in very quickly. 594 is the halt level. Yeah, that's what this is what makes or breaks you. Now, if say for example, if you didn't exit like me over here, my last exit, still on a good profit, right? You actually got stuck on it, and your entry, let's say on average was 540. You're actually looking at 30 cents now, and you're saying to yourself basically, well, this has gone too far. It's gonna pull back. It might never pull back. So that is what gets a lot of people in trouble on small caps, and it could be really, really dangerous. That's why I don't mention my entries and exits, because it influences people, and I don't want to do that, especially on the smaller caps. I do mention, however, though, I'm looking at this, and that. For example, Ocul, I'm definitely looking for something under 485s, and then under VWAP. But since we have got COMS squeezing like this, we might have Ocul that is also being pushed, because well, they're actually not the same float, is it? One is 77 million, the other one is 2 million, 2.5 million. So COMS, this one is a good candidate for a possible good squeeze, because it's a very low float. Oh, my camera was off, was it? Dude, what the hell? Sorry about that, guys. My camera was off. And also OCUL. I don't know whether I'm gonna get a chance to actually trade this. But unless I go long, and I don't want to go long on it though. It looks really nice for long, to be honest. Yeah, it looks really good for longs. Anyways. COMS. And OCUL. All right, buddy, no problem. Best of luck with that. I'm going to be heading out as well. So, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. EST. Tomorrow, same time. And yeah, best of luck with the whole thing. Texting. CVNA. CVNA is actually a short there. I'm going to try that, guys. CVNA possible short here. But what do we got though? One. Okay, let's just take 1034s. This one looks like a long. The COMS now. COMS looks like a nice little long here, although it's around that 6 area where I was kind of like hoping that it will go towards, start rejecting from there, but CVNA looks like I'm waiting for this to actually show some sort of a weakness. 1040 area is quite important here. I don't want it to be trading over that unless it comes back in like that. Yes. $10.35. $10.38. 1035. 1035, guys. This is the one I'm gonna mention because this is easier to manage with a very tight stop. 1042. So very tight stop. You can put in some decent size on it. If it does close over 1040, in fact, you can even put your hard stop there because it did actually attempt to take that 1040 out and it didn't. Now we should be seeing some sort of a momentum to the downside. On this one, I will probably take close to 1005s, everything out. So yeah, that's something that I also I'm kind of tempted to be taking COMS long. So COMS long 580 breaks, then we could take that, not before it, but we could also see some rug pull coming in on this. Okay, here we go, here we go. And if it doesn't take that six out very quickly, then I'm going to be exiting very quickly as well. Same way as I would normally. Yeah. See the rug pull that this is what I was mentioning. Like this was to be expected. So it didn't even go to attempt to take the 6 out. So this is why you've got to be really quick. CVNA is also backing up to 1040 now, and if it does take that 1040 out, I'll be out. And now there is a chance on COMS for some possible shorting opportunities after this rejection. Huge volume came in. 590 is very close to 6 anyways, so yeah, I mean that's 1040. I'm gonna be out on the CVNA, guys. It's very tiny small loser on that CVNA because it didn't continue. It didn't have that momentum to the downside. I really thought this was this would have the potential to I'm out here before my exit. Before my exit, the reason why I'm out before my exit is it's building up some momentum to the upside. In fact, it kind of looks like a reversal pattern, and I don't want it to be. I didn't want my the price to be coming back to my entry. So very, very close to the entry. I might be early on the exit on this one, but yeah, it's just very like small, like a very, very quick trade. Very quick trade. I'm going to be looking into shorting COMS again. I did have some good success. There you go. That's why I exited early. It probably would have taken me out on my stop, but now I'm actually I've got a really small loser on it instead of a bigger one. So gotta pay attention to the price action. OCUL is slowly taking that. As I mentioned, this one looks actually more like a nice little reversal pattern. So break of 1040 actually was a decent long on it. I kind of am tempted to take longs on the CVNA because longer term, I also want to swing this. I want to swing it, but will I be able to get the right price on it though? 1050. 1050s. All right, so yeah, I'll look into that. I'm gonna be taking something definitely today on this one. CVN, as long as it's holding over 1050s, 1060s. Even now is a good actually opportunity. So I'm actually more interested in OCUL now, not OCS, COMS. COMS. COMS is interesting because it's the rejection from 590 was quite strong, and do we have the strength to go back at it again? We might, but I want to see what it does. If it does actually go towards that 590 and starts taking out, then there's no trade. But if it starts to reject again like this, if it doesn't even go to the highs, then that's a sign that it's kind of giving up. Let's see. What else do I see? Yeah, it's actually not bad. It's been okay. It's been good. I had some decent trade on COSM. Shorted 1040. I had the early loser, small loser, but then I had the decent winner on it. And there's still some opportunity on this one. I'm looking to short it. I know it's a little bit of a front side, but it looks good, to be honest. I think if it doesn't take that 570, 575s out, still could be weakness. And it's still early, but that means we are getting really to the high of the price action, and basically opportunity for bigger R is huge there. Let's see if I can get some. See if I can get some. Let's see if I can get some. CVNA is also a good one. 1052s. 1052s. I've taken 1052s on CVNA. Now this is a bigger picture. Probably swing ideas. 1052s. So please pay attention to. And the stop is going to be low of day on that CVNA. Stop shall be low of day. Let's go. CVNA. Yep, CVNA is 1052. In fact, it's actually right at 1052 now, but I took it a candle before. So this candle here. Well, that's a swing kind of / day trade idea. I want this to be staying over VWAP for the rest of the day. Hopefully, even if it doesn't, as long as it doesn't actually take out 1020s, 1015s, which is low of day, is fine for me. I can hold on to it. The rest, OCUL didn't really, yeah, this squeezed up, as you can see. It's not a squeeze really, and it's a higher float than normal for a squeeze. So there you go. There you go. Shorting COMS as well. Shorting COMS. 553. 553 average. 552. 552. COMS. I don't want to mention this, to be honest, because it's kind of really fast. But why not? 553, and then we can manage it. 553. Stop is here, 570s. Very tight stop. I'm not gonna let it go all the way to the highs because the risk of squeeze is there. I would exit way before it. I know it's just around the VWAP, but yeah, with these ones, VWAP really doesn't have much of a play. And if this one takes me out, it's going to be not much of a big loser on this one. Less than 1 hour, I would say. It's picking up now. Is it picking up? It's picking up some decent volume as well. COMS 570 is the stop. Or 571, something like that, really. 571. Here we go, COMS, let's go. 530 would be the first partial. And then 5s will be main partial. And then let it go. Let it go. Let it run, basically. 544s needs to break. Let's see if it breaks it. 544s. CVNA is looking good. CVNA is looking strong, so it's fine. This one needs to be staying under VWAP though. It's yeah, it's getting bought back up. Surprisingly, very hiddenly. So this is concerning though. Right over here it was happening. Same thing was happening. Like hidden buyers were coming in and buying back the lows. 544 is the same sort of concept. Same sort of concept. So I'm kind of a bit curious on this one, guys. I might exit early. Just don't like what it's doing right now. Again, 570 is not too far from like 553. It's only about, what, 15 cents, 17 cents. So might as well give it some chance to work out. Yeah, it's popping now. It is popping, guys. See, right here is very obvious buying coming in, whereby there was not much. It wasn't really sort of clear. Oh, okay, here we go. Bounce coming in. Yeah, I think somebody's buying this thing. Just avoid it, guys. I want to wait for it 570 to break though. I want to give it a chance. The unfortunate thing about this is if it does take out that 565s, it's gonna jump to 570. What's it gonna jump to? It might not actually. Might not. 564s. Here it goes. Here's the attempt. Here's the attempt. 565s once big numbers getting taken out like nothing, So there's dip buying coming in hiddenly. So there's something about this is not right. So 571 is my stop. 571 is my stop. Yeah, it's getting dip bought back up. So 571 would be my stop, guys. That's hard stop. So as soon as it goes there, I'm gonna be out. And the other one is CVNA. Where's CVNA? There we go. CVNA entered here. I'm still holding it. Already about 20 cents up. Yeah, COMS does not look good. It's gonna take that 571. Is it? Seems like it wants to. Quite clearly. There goes CVNA as well. 1080s. That's decent run actually. 36 to 80s. That's what is that? It's 45 cents, right? 45 cents move now. So for a possible, my stop is also big on this one, guys. So just gonna let it run. Yeah, it's got huge potential though for the long. I mean, we are talking, yeah, it's got huge potential. Yeah, we'll leave CVNA on the side. Let's have a look at COMS. Still in it. As I said, 571 gets hit, I'm out. Not before that. Not before that at all. OSCR. X-Pawn, CVNA, XOM, ooh, XOM. OCUL. Just not doing anything. COMS, DDL. DDL. Anyways, guys, I will be ending the stream. The only trade I am in, as I mentioned, is CVNA, a possible swing idea from 540, and also COMS, which might take me out at 571 hit. That's my hard stop there, because it did go to 570s quite a few times, created nice little highs for me to put my stop on. And if it does take me out, that's fine. It's clear. There it goes. It took me out. There it goes. So that's a loser there. I had a winner here, so pretty much break even, to be honest, with that one. But then again, our now I'm only in on one stock, which is a CVNA. I did try this short earlier, but with almost a break even, like very tiny loser on it. But our longs are doing really well. Now, for the long, we can always trail this now with under just a VWAP and just hold it until it actually violates that. But for me, I want to hold it. I want to give it as much of a chance as I can today and the next coming days. Hopefully, it's going to stay strong. As long as it stays strong, I'm going to hold it. So this is a swing idea. We'll see what happens to this week, actually. This week. Look at SPY, what it did around this this area here, creating nice little flag. Started to break out. Off it goes. Another kind of like a pennant breaks out. Very strong. So this is clearly every day, almost every week, is proving that, you know, we are not in a bear market, guys. Be careful, you know, being short biased. You want to be mostly long biased, especially when it comes to long, larger caps. These are the times where you want to be looking into maybe swinging some really nice growth stocks to build up and create some decent returns on the account. So swing ideas for longs, really good, especially when you do get these kind of pullbacks on like AI. This one is not even bad because it's done its pullback and it's still early, yes, we want to see at least some sort of a bounce. But CVNA, we didn't even get to see. We didn't even see a bounce. This could be the bounce day. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, if this is the bounce day, then we could always end up adding to next few days. COMS looks like a long. Now, right now, it looks like a long. COMS. This is long written all over it. It's long written over it. But I'm not gonna trade it, guys. I'm done with it. Had some success, somewhat not so much success, but it is what it is. I'm kind of like a break even on this, I believe. So I had pretty much break even, maybe even green on it. But just not there was no follow through on this short, but there was nice little short on this side here. And that's pretty much it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Catch you later. 8 a.m. EST. If you want to join tomorrow, be there. All right, guys, take it easy. Stay safe. Cheers. Peace.